Hi, I'm Dakota. I'm a certified flight instructor, and this is a Skylane 182 Turbo.
This beautiful airplane is a 2004 Cessna 182 Turbo Skylane from Van Bortle Aircraft in Arlington, Texas. The Cessna 182 is well known for its performance and safety record. This capable cross-country machine can easily hold 4 full-grown adults. Its modern avionics from Garmin make this plane very easy to fly. This specific 182 is actually for sale with Van Bortle Aircraft. You can click the link in the description for more information. In this video, we're going to strap a few cameras on this beautiful Cessna 182 Turbo and go for a flight. We're going to put it through its paces and show you just how easy it is to fly. So let's talk to Dakota and learn more about her and this beautiful airplane.
So I actually got started flying in high school. I had the opportunity to take an aviation elective that was offered by the school, and I actually took it because my favorite teacher was teaching it. And then through that, I was able to get connected with my local flight school and did a Young Eagles flight. And I did it and I loved it, and went home and talked with my parents, and they were like, if you seriously want to do this, then let's do it. And so I did my private pilot training during my senior year of high school and got my license like a week after I graduated, and then went to a college program after that. And I did my first solo just after I turned 17. So got my license at 17 as well. After I got my private that fall, I went to a 2-year Part 141, so college program for aviation. And through them, I was able to do my instrument training and my commercial training. When COVID hit, my school actually shut down, and I was right at the end of my CFI training. So I ended up taking quite a bit of a break. I took off like 15, 16 months, and then life led me to Texas, ended up down here, and got my butt back into it, got my flight instructor ratings. And then over the past 2 years, I've done like 900 hours of dual given, so I've got about 1,200 hours now. Most of my time is in Cessnas and 152s, 172s. I've got some 182 time. I've also done some flying in Pipers, mostly Cherokees, the trainers. A little bit of time in Diamonds as well, because that's what I did my private pilot training in. Behind me is a Cessna Skylane 182 Turbo. It's a 2004. So it produces about 235 horsepower, gives you a cruise speed of about 150 knots and a service ceiling of about 20,000 feet. This airplane would be like your big brother to the Cessna 172, which is more of a trainer. This is more of a cross-country machine. A little bit more horsepower, a little bit more space inside. It can handle a little bit more weight. This airplane is actually for sale here at Van Bortle Aircraft Sales down in Arlington, Texas. I probably flew the 182 last about 3 months ago, because it's been about 2 months that I've been completely out of the saddle and haven't been in an airplane at all, so we'll see how it goes. I've not been in an airplane because someone convinced me to go get on a boat instead, and that's where I've been the last 2 months. And so now I am excited because I get to take over the hosting duties of Flying Doodles. So hopefully I get to get in the air a little bit more and get kind of the best of both worlds. Really love general aviation. I think it's a really cool opportunity to go get in some different airplanes, meet some new people, opposed to just doing the classic airline route, which is not a bad thing. It's just not necessarily for me.
All right, well, you ready to take this thing up in the air?
I think as ready as I'm gonna be.
All right. Clear.
For insurance purposes, Randall, the sales manager for Van Bortle, was in the left seat while I was sitting in the back.
Municipal Airport, Arlington, Texas. Automated weather observation 1453 Zulu. Wind 160 at 08. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 26 Celsius. Dew point 17 Celsius.
So Dakota, you were saying you feel more comfortable flying from the right seat these days?
Yeah, I mean, it's what I've been doing almost the last 1,000 hours.
Yeah. Arlington ground, Skylane 182, Mike uniform at Van Bortle with the weather like taxi to the active south departure.
Skylane 82 Mike uniform, Arlington ground. Follow the Skyhawk crossing your left to right, runway 16 taxi via taxiway Alpha. Altimeter 3003.
Alpha to 16 behind the Skyhawk 3003. 2 Mike uniform.
So in the left seat today, we have
Verify
Randall.
your call sign at 82 Mike uniform or 182 Mike uniform.
Skyline November 182, Mike uniform.
So Randall is the salesman for Van Borel Aircraft, so since Dakota's not, checked out on the airplane, he's got to be with us.
More of an insurance thing.
Yeah, okay.
We operate under a flight department, so our pilots on the insurance, they have to, that's actually what that guy was doing out there. They're about to go check ride, so, because he's about to come on board with us, so.
Oh, okay. So you got to it's like a Part 91 flight department type thing or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to maybe demonstrate a takeoff for us there, Dakota, like a short field or soft field or something?
Oh, so now I haven't flown, and now you're gonna ask for fancy stuff too.
Oh, yeah. So I guess the turbos are all automatic on this?
Yeah, automatic wastegate, so you don't necessarily have to worry about, over boosting it. Sometimes when it's, really cold, it'll go a little bit over, so you watch it a little bit, but it's not like those manual wastegates where you have to stop the throttle and all that. She's just going to go straight in, and, you should be looking for 33.5 inches, and it's right around there, so.
Well,
I guess being 235 horsepower, this thing will get off the ground pretty quick.
It does.
Well, what are you looking for on a short field takeoff there,
Seminole
Dakota?
2 Alpha Tango Tower, follow the
we're gonna use as much of the runway as possible because we're trying to get off in the shortest distance possible, simulating that we don't have a whole lot of it available. So we'll pull up, hold the brakes, full throttle, release, rotate will be 60, rotate around 60,
about 70.
70.
Yeah.
All right, rotate at 70.
All right, I'll get your brakes, you got it.
All right, you got it.
Arlington Tower, Skyline 182, Mike uniform holding short 16, south departure.
Skyline 182, Mike uniform, Arlington Tower. Good morning, runway 16 cleared for takeoff. Southbound departure approved. The Seminole on the go is left closed. Traffic wind 160 at 10.
16 cleared for takeoff, straight out southbound to Mike uniform.
All right. We'll keep it all the way over on this right side here. Use as much of the runway as we got.
Tell them a short delay. Well, there's nobody in the pattern.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Won't take too long. Alright, not perfect, so we do have plenty of runway, so. And out here we've got 10 degrees of flaps. Everything's in green. We're gonna slowly bring that throttle up full. Mixture rich. And RPM's up. We're gonna release the brakes, a little bit of right rudder. Airspeed's alive. A little bit of back pressure. And let her fly.
There we go.
Positive brake, flaps are coming up.
Left downwind, runway 16 for touch and go.
Clear track 580, tower number 2, runway 16 clear, touch and go.
With some air.
Number 2, runway 16 clear, touch and go, clear track 580.
Want Bobby sweating back there?
I'm doing all right.
Like 2,300 below the Bravo until we get out of it.
Sure. And what do you do, about 25 squared here?
In the climb,
Keep it?
yeah, you can keep it in the white for the climb and just back to the green for cruise, which should be 28. So you can pull it back to 28, or you can do whatever you want. So
We'll let her climb then. Alright, we'll start slowly leveling her.
not bad, 1,100 feet a minute at gross weight.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Bringing that throttle back.
On the turbo, you just basically lean it on the TIT. It's about 1575.
Huh?
So keep the CHTs nice and cool.
I mean, multitasking a whole lot for not doing this in a long time.
You've been pulling ropes and stuff, or whatever you do on a sailboat.
But he does all the hard work, so like I don't just do the endless stuff.
Now, these Turbo 182s, I mean, they're kind of a staple, especially like these 2004 through 2006 models. They're literally half price of a new one.
I mean, it's beautiful in here. It
E1000,
may as well be new, yeah.
one of the most popular kind of eras right there, the 04 through 06s.
Well, I mean, there's not been like, is there much difference between a brand new one? I mean, it says the G1000, right? So
the only different, it has a different autopilot. You know, it has a GFC 700 versus the Cap 140, and it's, twice the money, but you know, a new one now, I mean, they're around 800 grand. So you just get a lot of bang for your buck with these. You know, the turbos, you know, built-in oxygen, prop heat, 20,000 foot ceiling. So.
Oh yeah, you do have built-in oxygen here, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll see 100. I don't know, like 12,000 feet, 155 true.
That's not bad.
It's your family SUV, really. So.
Well, there's a lot of room back here. I've been.
Yeah, there's a ton. You can cross your legs back there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
I can stretch out. I mean, I can take a nap. Now, this wouldn't be a bad. We were talking about it. You know, get flying doodles big enough one day where get something like this and just cruise around and film everywhere. You know, just kind of hop around in something. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, we can just go out and do some kind of maneuver. Maybe show a steep turn or something, and I mean, it doesn't need to be a real long flight.
I did most of my training on G1000s.
Did you?
Once upon a time, I knew it really well.
Guess is Garmin these days, they're pretty much what everybody's using.
Yeah, I mean, they've pretty much, Garmin, they've taken over. Their support is incredible. I mean, like if you lose, it doesn't happen often, but say you lose a whole display or something like that, I think it's only like $2 grand for an exchange with them.
Oh, really?
So,
That's
yeah,
not bad.
Their support's really, really good.
Okay, all right, let's do some clearing turns then before we start doing maneuvers.
Kind of explain, you know, while you're doing it, what you're doing and what's the point of it.
Alright, well, right now we're doing clearing turns. Kind of just turn 90 degrees to the left and then 90 degrees back onto original heading. Just a nice gentle bank. It gives us a chance to all around the airplane, make sure there's no one else in the way, because no one else is looking for you doing done right, so you gotta look for them. Also gonna kind of bring us up to 2,500 just to give myself a nice little even altitude. This. There we go, just that bug, there's our 25, pitch it down, try not to blow through that. Alright, that was a little bit more than 90 degrees because I was messing with stuff, but we'll come back to that south heading.
You got a really light touch on the controls, it's like so smooth.
Well, I appreciate you saying that because it's been a minute.
I mean, why do we even practice steep turns?
Oh, steep turns, it's really just to learn kind of how to manage the aircraft when it's in that situation where you've got a lot of load factors, so you got a lot of weight acting down on the airplane. And then also keeping it smooth and coordinated throughout those rolls and turns, and maintaining altitude and situational awareness and all that on top of it too.
Alright, yeah.
Alright, we're almost back to south here, a couple more degrees, right about my 2,500. What's our maneuvering speed?
I don't remember.
Alright.
I was looking, oh,
It's
there
probably
it is.
about 120.
110.
Okay, 110. Yep. We'll pull some power
I was
here.
looking for it, but it was like right below the glare shield. I couldn't find it. I was like, I know it's here
I was
somewhere.
like, I know it should be somewhere over there. Alright, we'll pull some power, then we'll slow her down a little bit. Goes up trim. Basic maneuvering speed means we'll stall before we brake. So if I were to, you know, be in a position where I'm going to exceed the load that the aircraft is rated for, then hopefully we would enter a stall and it would recover itself before we rip off a wing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can make full abrupt control changes.
Well, you can make one full abrupt control change.
Yeah.
So, okay, go full left aileron and hopefully we stall before we brake. Alright, we got about 20 inches. That's giving us about our 110. We're about 2,500, about a south heading. This is probably not going to be perfect, but we're going to roll into 45 degrees of bank. We'll go to the left. We'll make a 360 degree turn and hopefully level back out about south, about 2,500.
All right.
All right. A little bit of rudder just to keep it coordinated. Nice smooth turn all the way in. Give it some nose up trim just to kind of help hold it up there, because the more we bank, the more we lose that vertical lift. The more she wants to just come on down. A bit more rudder, there's that 45, a little bit of back pressure. Her speed's a little slow, so I'm going to bump in just a little bit of power. And I'm kind of just looking outside to drag the nose kind of along that horizon as we come through west.
Very nice.
And just before getting back to south, we're going to make a nice smooth rollout, keeping it nice and coordinated. Done our 25, probably have to take some of that trim back out. And we lost a little bit of airspeed, but not too bad for not doing it in a while.
All right, nice job.
Almost like you've taught this before.
Yeah, I could talk, see, I've just got to talk myself through it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, good job.
Just kind of start making a turn back there. We'll bring it back to that 23 for the Bravo.
Backed up my 4-flight logbook the other day, and I've flown 512 different airplanes.
Oh, really?
It was actually 496, and now it's at 512. I was guessing like 200, 250.
Well, that's a lot of airplanes, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of airplanes. There's like 64 models.
Wow. I found my logbooks yesterday. I was going through my storage unit, and I was like, oh, there's my logbooks.
And one thing that's so nice is having these cup holders, because that's those older Cessnas.
No cup holders.
Ooh, no cup holders. And I'm like, it's such a thing. Why didn't you put them in?
They haven't really, since 56, they built the 182. They haven't really changed a lot. I mean, it's the same great airplane. They've added cup holders and different avionics, but the 97 and newer, they have a lot more insulation, so they're quite a bit quieter. But it's still the same great airplane.
I know, it's an awesome airplane. I love flying it. Fun to fly. It's still nice and light on the controls, and it's pretty docile, but...
And safety, too. I mean, you think about it, you hear of accidents, stuff like that, but you don't see many 182s on them. So, everything really goes south. I mean, you can get the thing down to, probably, 50 knots with full flaps if you really had to. Pretty much put them anywhere. Lycomings, too, that these have, like the Lycoming 540s. We had a Turbo 182 come in, 6 months ago, at 2,750 hours on the engine, never did one cylinder.
Wow.
I mean, TBO, it's 2,000 on the turbo, 2,200 on the non-turbo, and they just keep going. It's the same engine that's on the 206. 206 is 310 horse. These are 235, non-turbos 230. They're so heavily derated, the engine's just bulletproof.
Is it still good compression on the cylinders? Or?
Oh yeah, it was still going. I mean, we went ahead and did an engine just, for the heck of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't making metal or anything.
Well, they say more engine failures happen right after an engine overhaul.
Right, yeah.
It's been a while. The ADSB is required now for all airplanes.
Since 2020.
2020?
ADSB out is required.
Right. Yeah. This one has in and out, so it'll give you the traffic, weather, and all that stuff too, but yeah.
And it's required because we're underneath the Bravo here. Normally in Delta airspace you don't have to have it, but we're in that mode C Vale. Arlington Tower, Skyline 182, Mike Lima, 10 miles to the south, inbound, full stop with the number. Mike Uniform, 182 Mike Uniform, correction.
Cessna 182 Mike Uniform, Arlington Tower, continue inbound on that heading. Did you want a left downwind entry or you want a right downwind entry?
Affirmative, we'll take left downwind entry, 182 Mike Uniform.
And Cessna 2 Mike Uniform, enter left downwind, runway 16, wind 170 at 9 or gust 18, altimeter 3002.
Left downwind 16, 182 Mike Uniform. The 182 that I've flown the most is 182 Mike Lima.
Oh, really?
It's coming out on a habit, yeah. Alright, cool. So we'll just kind of go in.
Going a buzzard.
Yeah, so
never dodge the birds. Just let them get out of the way.
I've hit a few birds in my day.
Have you?
Yeah, in the Gulf Stream and
well, that was expensive.
No, it really didn't do it did damage. We did take one through the engine on the Learjet once, and that was like 70 grand.
Not as bad as what I thought it would be.
Yeah. I think it was like.
Was it a fire? Did it cause a fire?
No, no, it didn't cause anything. Honestly, we saw it momentarily drop and then one, and smelled bad.
Really? Oh, from the
bleed air,
Bleed air to the pressurization.
Yeah.
Career track 580.
And
wind 180 at 9 or gust 17.
So when we landed, I had it inspected, borescoped and all that, and it was about 70 grand worth of damage.
What kind of damage?
They had to redo some of the blades on the turbine.
All right, about 3 miles out, we got pattern altitude, slowed down a little bit, mixture in, prop in.
Arlington Tower, career track 678, right midfield, downwind, touch and go.
Career track 678 tower, runway 16, clear touch and go. After touch and go, resume left close traffic, wind 170 at 10, gust 18.
I see him up there on the other side. He's definitely ahead of us.
Resume left traffic, career track 678.
Skyline 2 Mike Uniform Tower number 2, you're following the Cessna slightly ahead of me on the opposite downwind, a touch and go. Runway 16, clear to land, wind 170 at 9 or gust 17.
Number 2, traffic in sight, 16, clear to land, 2 Mike Uniform. Alright, I'm assuming that's like a training airplane, so I should give him a little space.
Where is he?
He's opposite. Yeah.
I think he's turning now as base.
Okay, cool. We'll start slowing it up.
ATP does a lot of stuff here, so it's usually either Skyhawk or an Archer, most likely, but or Seminole, but yeah.
He's in the middle of his base turn now.
Okay, I don't have him in sight anymore.
I got him.
So you tell me when I'm good then.
He's on his base. You're about a beam with him now.
Okay. I still don't see him, so.
Don't either.
Got him. Bro. He's turning final now.
Oh, I got him in sight. He's passed. Okay. Good to make a base here. Putting a little bit of power in since we're a little bit extended. Looking for, I don't know, around 80 right now. I'll slow it up a little bit more on final. I guess I could have taken the right downwind since I'm on the right side.
You're just trying to make it challenging on
Yeah,
yourself.
make it even harder. Alright, still got him in sight on final. We'll get behind him and slow up a little bit more. And we are cleared to land. Alright, winds are a little gusty, but luckily they're down the runway, so. Make sure we've got some nose up trim in there. I'd rather fight it a little bit more back here, but have it nice and so we're actually going for touchdown.
What's the main difference here between a 172 and 182 landing?
It's got a bigger engine, so it's a lot more nose heavy. So 172, she'll sit, float, float, float. This thing though, she'll go right down. So you just got to make sure you got enough back pressure in there. Just put the trim in, because then I don't have to fight it so much.
Track 580 left downwind.
That's what I do. I just trim the weight out of it.
Rear track 580 tower number 2. The skyline is a full stop. Runway 16 clear. Touch and go.
Coming up short final. We'll go ahead and go full flaps. Get it slowed down the last little bit.
Touch and go. Looking for that traffic.
A little bit or a little bit high, so I'm just going to keep that power pulled back and just fly it right into the ground pretty much. That's how I taught landings. I tell them, make it look like we're going to crash in those numbers, then catch it, please.
That's comforting.
Oh, the key is you got to catch it. Alright, we're looking about 70 short final. That's pretty good. Coming in, give a little bit of power. Oh, there's that gusty wind for you. Been idle, getting that nose up.
Alright.
Very nice.
Alright. Keep a center line, maybe.
Hey, first landing in 2 months. I'll take it.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, I'll let you take over on the ground. I don't feel like taxing this thing. Alright, you got controls?
I got controls.
You go.
Skyline 2 Mike uniform, turn left taxiway Delta. Taxi to Van Bortle via Alpha. Monitor ground. Have a good day.
Delta Alpha, monitor ground, 2 Mike uniform. Thanks.
Alright, guys. Successful flight. Thanks for taking us up, guys.
Yeah, thanks for trusting me to fly it.
Yeah, of course. You're great.
Alright, well, hey, well, what do you think of your first flight here?
It was great.
Yeah?
I mean, got to knock off the rust.
Yeah?
It was definitely a little rusty. I don't care what you guys say. I felt rusty.
No, you were great. You did a good job. Thanks for taking me up. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't scare you.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this airplane or any of the others, it's vanbortle.com, and I got a bunch of really nice airplanes here.
Yeah.
And congratulations, and say hello to the new host of Flying Doodles too. So
I'm excited. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, well, we got another one coming up right away. Thanks guys for watching. Please click that like and subscribe button, and of course that's our patrons to make it possible. Patreon.com/flyingdoodles, and welcome on board to Dakota.